What up, everybody? Just wanted to make a quick video and say Florida is wilding again. I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but there is a driver down there who you do not want to fuck with. He goes by the name of Eric Popper. Perfect name for somebody who lets off shots all day. This dude, apparently, he was caught on his dash cam when he cut somebody off, and they started following him, started tailing him the whole nine. That dude overtakes him and throws a water bottle at Eric's car, and this guy just loses it, pulls a gun out of his side rest in his car, and lets off 11 shots just randomly. Like, he's not even looking, just like he's squinting his eyes. He just pops off, pops off, pops off. Easily could have killed the guy. Did not hit him apparently, but is still very, very much in trouble. He had to hand himself over to the police the other day. And this got me thinking, because in New York City, I don't know if some of you guys may have heard, but in New York City, they are turning over the gun laws. This is a new thing that is going to be happening. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it's official yet, but they've been talking about it for a while. They're turning over the gun laws, and what they're going to do is they're going to allow regular New York City citizens to get gun licenses. And on top of that, people with illegal guns, if they are found with an illegal gun, you're going to have it confiscated and they're going to give you a ticket. I'm not sure if that part of the law is going to be staying once the law gets passed. Who knows? But this is what they're going for. And that's why I kind of wanted to ask this question, seeing that Eric Popper video and now knowing this about New York City. Should guns really be legal in New York City? And I've been asking this question for a long time, because personally, listen, I've held guns, I've shot guns. I've played around with guns. I'm no expert or nothing like that, but I mess around with them. I see their appeal. I get their appeal, and I understand why a regular person wants to have a gun. You want to feel safe and all that type of shit. But my whole thing is that, I really don't know if they should be, man, especially like in New York City. In the rest of the country, I can understand why they are. In New York City, I just don't know, because New York is just such a different animal, man. I actually think it's just not a good idea, because there's just too many people here. I think that's really what it is. I think the main problem with guns and New York City is just that there's too many people and there's too many things going on. The guns are huge, all over the place, all over the U.S., but especially in the South and especially in rural areas. And I feel like the real reason a lot of those guns and shit and that gun culture is popular in rural areas is because everybody has their own personal space. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own rules that they live by. Everybody has their own property, right? So everybody keeps things cordial. It's like you have your own property, and if somebody steps on your property, you're allowed to be like, hey, I have my gun, back off, or there's going to be an issue. In New York, nobody has property. Your property is everybody else's property. Nobody has any personal space. You are literally on top of each other constantly. And that's my whole thing. It's just that, like, yeah, like if we were, if we were down south or something, sure, but the fact of the matter is, New York, everybody is literally on top of each other. Like, I can't imagine being on a subway car after this law is passed and 85% of the people on that train have a gun on them. And I know that's an exaggeration. I know there's a lot of people who wouldn't buy guns and shit like that, but you really have to think about that, because New York's a scary place too. So once it becomes legal, I could see a lot of people just going fuck it and just getting one, just for sheer protection. Because like once you let all that go, man, once you let those laws just run rampant, everybody's gonna be buying them up. And I could see that, man. Like, and that's the whole thing. It's like, maybe if they let the guns be legal in Queens, I could go for that. There's a little bit of space in Queens, but not Manhattan, bro, and not Brooklyn, bro. It's just too much. It's too fucking much. Like, can you imagine that? Everybody on a train car having guns, and we all have a bad day. You got yelled at your boss, you got yelled at by your boss. Your girl don't even want to fuck with you. You're on her way to see her because you need to talk to her, but she won't answer your calls. You angry as fuck. And then some dude, just gets on the fucking train and starts dancing. They play that loud ass music, start dancing and shit, doing like the subway acrobatic dances and shit. You're not having it. All of a sudden, some fucking homeless guy comes on asking for change. Like, these are the things that happen in New York. These are the things that happen in New York, and you don't have any personal space to scream. You don't have a car where you can yell or scream, fuck you, fuck this. When people explode in New York, they just explode around everybody. And I could just see like stressful shit like that, ramping up, and somebody just losing it and shooting like 2-3 people on the fucking train because they couldn't take it no more. Like everybody's had that New York moment where they start screaming, they start yelling, they start throwing shit because they can't take it no more. And if that person had a gun, so many people would be dead. So that's the one thing. It's like, I get guns, I understand guns. I actually think there's a need for guns in this country. I understand it. But in New York, I don't know, bro. I just don't know. Like, and people say like, oh well, if it's illegal, if you want to get a gun, you can get a gun. Yeah, that's fine. Leave the guns to the criminals. I know that sounds weird, but leave the guns to the criminals. It's the average nigga I'm scared of. It's the average nigga who knows nothing about guns, has never held a gun, just wants to feel the power for a second and pulls it out and then gets scared when somebody, makes a sudden movement and shoots somebody. That's the one I'm scared of. The nigga going out to shoot another nigga because he owes him money, whatever. That's some shit that was already gonna happen. But the type of dude, the fucking the lame ass dude who's mad scared all day and all this shit, and he trembles at every little fucking thing, and somebody just rolls up on him for a second and he just boom, and just shoots him. That's the problem. That's the one that's the problem for me. So I don't know, man. I just don't know, dude. I just don't know, because that's what Eric Popper is. Eric Popper is the average guy. He's not the criminal. He's the like that exactly. Like in Florida, you can go and just buy a gun. That's what Eric Popper did. He doesn't seem like a dangerous dude. I doubt he deals drugs or nothing like that. But he drives and he's like, yo, these people fucking cut me off. They piss me off. They do whatever. I'm gonna buy a gun so I can show them. And then he buys a gun. Some dude throws a water bottle, which this nigga knew was a fucking water bottle, and he's on his road rage fucking vibe. Pulls that shit out and just starts spraying. And who knows? Like this time he got lucky, but he could have killed mad people. Bro, this nigga shot 11 times. One of those could have hit one car, and another one could have hit another car. Those cars could have spun out. They could have flipped over. Now all the other cars that are coming up are crashing into them, and that could have all been that man's fault. You know what I mean? And that's just that's just in Florida, where niggas actually have space. They have things. Imagine if somebody let off in a fucking subway station at Grand Central. Like, nigga, come on. So I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with it. If you guys fuck with it, let me know what you think in the comments. Let's talk about it. But as far as, my point of view, I don't think that's cool. And to Eric Popper, listen, man, go to therapy, burn some sage, smoke a little bit of weed, and calm the fuck down. Because it's not that serious, baby. It's not that serious. All right, guys. This has been whatever this is. Peace out.